Hello and welcome to the astrology report for the week ahead. This is for the week of December 1st through 7th, so we're getting in the Christmas spirit. If you don't know me, hi, my name's Samantha. I am a developed psychic medium and witch and tarot reader, as well as astrologist, yogi and meditation instructor, and holistic life coach and spiritual mentor. And I welcome you to this beautiful astrology report where I'm going to tell you how the planets are going to be fucking with you for the week ahead. So let's jump into it. Okay, my beautifuls, we have a lovely week starting off this week because on the December 1st, kicking off the month, we have this beautiful Sagittarius new moon. And I mean, this is kind of a bit of a godsend because with Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, this is kind of like that new beginning energy we need that gives us a little bit of fire to help get out of the muck that we've kind of been struggling with the whole Mercury in retrograde in Sagittarius. So I always like when we have a new moon on the first of the month because it kind of just kicks off the first of the month with a little reminder that we're beginning things fresh. It's a new lunar cycle. It's a new beginning for us. And the adventure of that playful energy that comes with Sagittarius is really landing its mark with us to help us move forward. So Sagittarius, as I've said in the past, is the archer. So it has a lot to do with where we're focusing our energy and where we're putting it forward. And I really want to mention that for a lot of us with Sagittarius being in Mercury right now, which is in retrograde, a lot of us have felt like we're moving through mud. So this is going to plant those lovely seeds of ambition that we need to get us moving and get us sort of like possibly a bit more in the holiday spirit if you've been feeling kind of shitty about it. Also with new moons, this is a great time to think big for your manifestations. This really helps to sort of get you moving forward into a more positive mindset for what it is that you want to cultivate for this upcoming holiday season, which is why I'm already vibing with it. Now, this new moon falls directly opposite to the planet of optimism, which is Jupiter. So any form of opposition does cause a little bit of conflict. However, Jupiter is a planet of expansion. So wherever you found yourself at this point in your little life journey, this is going to kind of like help you to see where you've been in conflict, but with this new moon's energy, see the silver lining of it and what it's been teaching you, right? There's a lot probably on your mind and ideas can be swirling around like right now. So you might want to take a different approach with this new moon and how you're viewing things, change your perspective a bit. Otherwise, you can kind of lose track of your focus because Sagittarius, like I said, is all about focus. So with this opposition to Jupiter, I don't want you to lose your focus. Focus on opportunities that you can expand this month, that you can explore, that you can experience. And like I said, because we've had Mercury in retrograde in Sagittarius, you're going to sort of want to move away from that like icky, slow, introspective energy to kind of get more expansive and thinking about how you can build upon what you've been thinking about during this time. And maybe revisit, maybe later on in the week, somewhere that you've maybe possibly been before on your healing journey, but now you have a new perspective about it and a new way of thinking about it thanks to this new moon's energy. If you want to work with this new moon, I always say write down your manifestations for the first, create possibly like a little bit of a manifestation, like I am manifesting, I don't know, abundance or the ability to focus in on the abundance of the holiday season. Because we got that Jupiter opposition, right? You can kind of pull in that abundance. And with this new moon, focus in on where it is you want to focus your healing. Especially if it's to move you out of the shitty energy we've been in with this Mercury retrograde. On the 2nd, Venus is in Capricorn, trine Uranus in Taurus. So anytime we have a trine, that's sort of like a more beautiful energy for us. It sort of helps us to get more of a flow going on. Like I said, this week is sort of picking up because last week was kind of shit. This is going to open you up to being in that new energy with that new moon that's been coming forward. You know, new people, being willing to expand your social circle, making, you know, new connections, feeling more belonging. Also because the moon is entering Capricorn. So Capricorn's that earth sign of achievement and success, and this is going to help you be a bit more realistic about what you can do to better yourself and how you can sort of focus on your long-term plans to do that, which is a really nice energy, right? And then on the 3rd, we have the moon in Capricorn sextile to Uranus in Pisces. So when we have a sextile, this can bring a lot more motivation for us. It can kind of help us focus on our path. And like I said, because Capricorn's that earth sign of like focus and achievement, and Pisces with Saturn, that energy doesn't feel very comfortable because Pisces is a water sign that's all about emotions, but it's going to help you understand how your emotions can help you with the Sagittarius sun focus on the path you're on right now to help you emotionally lead to where you want to be. On December 4th, we have Mercury retrograde opposite Jupiter. So Mercury's been in retrograde since November 25th, and now it aligns directly opposite to Jupiter. So like I was saying, Jupiter can expand whatever it touches. And with Mercury retrograde linked, as I've said before, car troubles, miscommunications, delayed, prepare for it. And with that Jupiter energy, you're going to be experience a fair share of them. So I'm warning you, mark December 4th on your calendar to be more patient. Okay. Now, Mercury retrograde, however, is also a very highly intuitive, introspective time. So you're going to find your intuition peaking during this time as well, to sort of understand with that amplification of abundance from Jupiter, you know, how you're kind of getting in your own way. I said what I said. So you're really going to want to trust your instincts this day and feel in it, especially when it comes to timing for speaking up about things, because Mercury is a planet of communication. Don't get lost in your thoughts. Remember to focus in, because we're still in Sagittarius season, about where you want to go with whatever the heck you're doing that day. And don't be afraid to take a step back and give yourself a break if things start to get a little bit too big or too much, right? Because Jupiter's amplifying that energy. This can be a good day too to sort of give yourself a little bit of time to focus in possibly on how you want to plan your Christmas, because of that abundance energy and that new moon energy that we just had. It's a good time for you to sort of get direction on how to move forward with that and go introspective with it, as opposed to being external to yourself. I do recommend doing more introspective work during that day to amplify that as opposed to externally, because externally you're going to probably hit some conflicts. Like I said, car trouble, miscommunications, those aspects are going to be amplified. So December 4th, mark your calendars. Also, because the sun is squaring, which is, you know, a challenging opposition energy, Saturn, which Saturn is the planet of lessons and karma, and did you learn your shit last time around? And like I said, it's in Pisces, so you know that uncomfortable energy is coming forward. So something might get under your skin that day, and this is why I'm telling you to mark December 4th. Like, you can feel frustrated at the lack of progress or responsibilities being taken externally to you. So this is why I'm trying to tell you on December 4th to stop, pull back on fixating outside of yourself and what's not working, and fixate and focus on what you have control over and how you can make it work for you. Remember, focus in on that new moon energy and planting seeds and how you can move forward with your goals, okay? Now, like I said, it's going to be potentially a challenging day. You're going to possibly feel a bit prodded and pulled at. Pay attention to what is happening around you at this time, as it's going to serve for a guide where you need to set boundaries, okay? Remember, I was talking about the holidays and planning for the holidays. It's going to show you where you need to set boundaries for the upcoming holiday season, because the 4th is going to tell you how to manage your time and energy throughout the rest of the month. There you go. You're welcome. That's why I got the Christmas music going, honey, because this entire month's astrology is always leading up to the end of the month with Christmas. Like, wait, I can't wait to drop all these tips for you. As well, on the 4th, you thought I was done. I'm not done. I ain't done. Venus is moving with Capricorn to a sextile to Neptune in Pisces. So this is, once again, where you're thinking of possibly coming up with ideas of planning how you can cultivate better emotional connections for the holidays, and dealing with people emotionally. And it's going to help a little bit with creating, you know, empathy and compassion with that lovely Pisces Neptune energy, because Pisces is that home in Neptune. And sextiles, they really are a way to motivate us, right? So it's helping you to see how you can sort of motivate around and shift those energies for the upcoming holiday season. And with the moon entering Aquarius that day, it's going to help you work through challenges and get the information you see to that you need in order to finalize a plan for moving forward with the holidays. So already the beginning of the month is helping you plan for the end of the month, which I love. I love that. On December 5th, the sun is going to conjunct Mercury's retrograde. So the sun is in Sagittarius, right? And Mercury is in Sagittarius, and a conjunction kind of creates a bit of a concentration. It helps to amplify the energy a bit. So what this is going to do is this is a powerful day in the Mercury retrograde cycle because it's creating what's known as a Mercury cazimi. Oh yeah, this week is powerful, okay? Like I said, this entire week, the beginning of this month is really setting the stage and the energy for the rest of the month. So what you're going to see is a bit of a turning point, especially in any forms of miscommunications you possibly had last week, and gaining the inner wisdom that Mercury retrograde has gifted you to bring things to the surface for your introspective work. Now, it's at this point you're going to start seeing things with clarity, also to help you plan for the holidays and deal with other people's shit for the holidays, because family, can we just talk about family? Anytime you're dealing with family, you just know you got to be patient, right? So give yourself patience and grace and allow time to reveal to you, possibly shining a little bit more light on what it is you need to do to get your shit a little bit more in order to communicate what you need to do in order for the upcoming holidays. Now, don't rush ahead. Be mindful during this time, especially of where you're putting shit. This energy can make you a little scattered because, like I said, if you're not focusing with Sagittarius energy, well, Sagittarius energy, because it's ruled by Jupiter, it can be now, there can be an idea or a plan that you're really excited about moving towards the holidays that will come through on this day that will help you get started on moving forward to those plans. So if you want to see results, especially in the next 2 months, so if you're planning into the new year too, this is the day that's going to help you get a bit more focused about it and give you clarity on how to get through it. Now, all this beautiful energy has led up. We're getting things together, we're getting clarity, we're feeling more motivated for new beginnings, because on December 6th, Mars goes retrograde. Yeah. Mars is beginning its retrograde in Leo. Leo is a fire sign represented by the lion. Now, this is a critical cosmic event of the year, like critical, because Mars retrograde, the least of all the planets, so it's definitely one of the most consequential retrograde cycles we experience. And because it's kicking off in Leo, it's gonna really kind of fire us up a bit, or light a fire under our ass, especially to make us a bit more reactive and a bit more touchy. Because Mars is the planet of war and masculinity and taking action. And when it's in retrograde, we get more introspective. So it's going to be in retrograde until February, but I am going to warn you, because of this, you can get a bit more grumpy and a bit more easily irritated, especially if you have heavy Leo placements in your chart. Okay, this really can create a lot of frustration, which is why I told you to do planning in the beginning of the week, especially around those holiday seasons, especially before, the 6th, because what's going to happen is when Mars goes in retrograde, because it is the planet of action, we lose a lot of motivation. And because we're going to be feeling touchy, we're not going to want to deal with, especially our family shit. I'm just letting you know. So if you're trying to pick up old creative projects or planning during this time, or hobbies, or rekindling with an old flame to reconnect in your heart, Leo, or whatever, to help redefine you, I feel like this Christmas music's getting really loud. Hold on, let me just turn it down a bit here. My goodness. I felt like that Christmas music just got a little away from itself there. Getting loud with that Mars retrograde. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about how I want you to see this Mars retrograde as a time to also help redefine who you are and where you're going and how you're choosing to spend your energy and take action about things in your life. Because what Mars's retrograde is going to do for us is help to adjust and help us understand what really matters to us to motivate us, and sort of help us to reprioritize and reorganize what we're doing with our energy, especially during the holiday season and into the new year. It can also create, like I said, that sluggish energy. So try to get things sorted out before this day, because you're going to go, anytime we have a retrograde, you're going to go more into yourself. You're going to want to go more introspective, more into whatever's going on for you. Now, the other thing I want to talk about with this retrograde is because there's an aspect of reharmonizing as well. Mars will begin its retrograde in Leo before making its way into Cancer. So there's going to be a shift with this energy because it begins in Leo and shifts into Cancer, which is a water sign. So it's the opposite of the fire. And that's going to get us more in our feels. So Mars retrograde in Cancer will turn our attention to our home and our families. And that's going to happen a little bit later. I'll talk probably more about that next week. But understand that Mars is going to be in retrograde until February. So if you are lacking motivation or you're feeling like more of a homebody, you can blame Mars, okay? Also on that day, Mercury in Sagittarius is squaring Saturn in Pisces. So you may not care to deal with anything too demanding this day. Like I said, the astrology is kind of stacked for if you haven't planned your shit at the beginning of this month, you're going to start feeling overwhelmed and needing a break from it. So I'm going to remind you to take lots of breaks. And this rolls in onto December 7th, which is Venus is conjuncting Pluto. So Venus moves into Aquarius, where it will align with Pluto. And this planetary duo can bring up a lot of power struggles in our relationships and boost that intensity. Remember I said that family shit gonna start hitting the fan. And that's why you want to prep before the 6th. So if you want to get away and really like focus in on how you can shift things, because Venus is the planet of relationships and love and financial stability and all those things. And Pluto is the planet of, well, death and transformation. And both of them are in Aquarius. And Aquarius is an air sign. I'm an Aquarius. It's the weirdo of the zodiac. So thinking outside the box, it amplifies mental aspects. It's sort of like revolutionary, which, as you can see, could bring up power struggles, especially if you have a revolutionary idea of what you want to be doing this holiday season, and everybody's got their own ideas. And okay. So also on the 6/7th as well, there's this Sun opposition Jupiter. So the Sun in Sagittarius and Jupiter being in Gemini. So what's happening there is, like I said, Jupiter amplifies things, but because it's in Gemini, it's amplifying the mental body and aspects of what we're not working through in the mental body. And I want you to prepare for this day to make sure that you're taking some time to pull back and relax, because prior to this, you're going to feel a little overwhelmed with Mars having gone retrograde. And as I was talking about with Venus being in Aquarius, as it enters Aquarius, you're going to feel that more mental connection. You're going to feel a shift into your mental body. And that can be a little overwhelming, especially because the moon is in Pisces during that time. And as I said, water energy, it can create a lot of emotions. So during this time, if you are feeling emotionally overwhelmed or you feel too overwhelmed near the end of this week, do a creative project, okay? Focus in on maybe one of those like holiday adult coloring things or some shit. Because I am telling you right now, you have to be very mindful on this last bit of the week so that you don't end up blowing your top going into the Christmas season with your family and friends, okay? Remember, it's all about how you put your focus. Because thanks to Sagittarius, it's all about where we aim, right? Because Sagittarius is the archer, and that's what the sun's in. On December 7th as well, I told you, this is a busy week. Neptune is also going direct. So Neptune has ended its retrograde, and that's bringing, Neptune is the planets of like spirituality and connecting with our creative sides. So it's bringing clarity and new insights, and it opens up the third eye to help us see more forward for our goals, right? And helping us to access that higher dimension of self of what we want to create for 2025. Now, with retrograde coming to an end in Neptune, that means that a lot of that mental fog that's kind of been obscuring your vision for the last few months is going to begin lifting. However, with Mars being in retrograde kicking off this week, we're not going to feel too motivated yet on how we can move forward entirely for the upcoming new year. So I am going to direct you during this time on the 7th to make sure that if you have any ideas that come to you, to write them down, because with Mercury being in retrograde as well, it's going to be real easy for you to forget the insights that you get with this direct energy coming through with Neptune. And there is going to be new information that comes to light as we move forward with this direct energy going into next week. So write down whatever comes to you when it comes to plans for 2025 in a little notebook or even in your phone so you can go back to it, because I'm going to tell you, you're going to want those tidbits of information. This is also a day, thankfully, because Neptune's energy is so about, like, you know, it's that spiritual connection, to do something spiritual, connect with your spiritual side a bit more, and also trust your freaking intuition. All right. So that is everything I have for you for the astrology for the upcoming week. If you haven't listened to the Tarot Scope, I highly advise you to listen to that for a little bit more guidance of dealing with these energies. But if you want to book an astrology walk through your stars reading with me in person or online, my books are open for that. Just click the link in my bio. And what I do is I walk you through your personal astrological birth chart and explain to you not just how the planets fuck with you personally, but I will explain how the planets influence your overall aura and energetic blueprint and help to influence who you are. So if you're looking for understanding your soul purpose, your life purpose, and getting more guidance about who you are for 2025, book that shit up. Link is in my bio. You can book in person with me at Kinetic Balance. I'm available every Sunday. That link is there. Or you can book a distance reading with me by booking through my personal website. All right, my lovelies. Happy December. And I'm sending you so much love. You take care. Bye-bye now.